Philippe Gagnon joining us out there. How the heck is it going, sir?
Hey, everything's good on my side. Thanks for having me on today. Real pleasure to be here with you.
First question. I've asked a few of the guys that are coming in to Regina that are new. Why Saskatchewan?
To be fair, Saskatchewan, it kind of sounds strange, but it goes back a long way. Ever since my first year in the CFL in 2016, I've told that story before. I remember our last away game was game 17 of the season. We played the last game in the old Mosaic Stadium. The weather was just atrocious. The game meant nothing for no one. We were already out of the playoffs, and so were the Riders. And still, I remember to this day, just the energy in that stadium and everybody that still showed up and just all the support that was shown to the Riders. And I remember all the way back then thinking, wow, this is ridiculous. This is crazy. So on a good day, I wonder what it's like. And I for sure would like, to experience that being the guy to cheer for, not the guy to cheer against.
Yeah.
And so, and ever since then, it's been there's been some couple coffees, some couple calls whenever I became a free agent. Never panned out, but this time around, I thought, I'm 32. It's pretty much it's now or never. I know I got some good football games left in me. So if we're gonna do this right, if I'm gonna bring all that I can to a team, and then they give me something, I give them something back in return. It's gonna be now, and real happy to get that going.
Right on. Great story. Great story.
I love that.
Another question, quick one. First player that reached out to you.
So that was Trevor Harris. Obviously, we have a little bit of history. We played together in Montreal. Sent me a text. He was the first guy, but there have been a bunch of others since. The welcoming has been incredible.
I love to hear the story, first off, of the passion to come back and play here, and that Trevor was the first guy to reach out. As you think about your career development and where you got to this point, this coming to the Riders, obviously you're going to be in a leadership role. They expect you to take on more leadership than maybe other players that are coming in. How do you feel about that opportunity?
I've always thought whatever I can bring to a team, I'm going to do that. And as you said, I'm at this point in my career where experience and leadership is one of those things. I accept that role. That's something I'm going to do willingly. And then, I've got a lot of football behind me. I've seen a lot of situations over the year. I've seen a lot of games go the right way or not, and then being able to turn around and then keep that right mindset. So whatever I can do to help those guys understand how we can achieve that here too, then I'm going to do that for sure.
Now, the last time we had a French-Canadian guy come out and play on the offensive line, Dominic Picard, they called him the Angry or the Mad Frenchman. Wasn't it one of those two? Are you going to get stuck with that handle as well? Are you going to be the Angry Frenchman for us?
I'm going to try to have my own nickname going, and for different reasons. The guy was, I know him a little bit. Obviously, he went to the same college. We were both from Laval. We briefly were in camp again in 2016. He did the first week camp with us with Montreal. So we've talked a little bit over the years. And great guy, but I've got a bit of a different reputation, I'll say, than him. And you can expect the same intensity from me. You can expect, the same passion from me as you could expect from Dom, but we're different kind of players, and that's all right.
I love it.
Break down this team for me. Obviously you wanted to come here. The fans are one thing. We got a good thing on paper going into this year.
Yeah.
When you look at this team on paper, break it down for me.
Honestly, I think this is a team that could go really far in the playoffs, if not all the way. When you look at it, they have some great guys. We have some great guys returning, some good additions too. If you think on defense, the thing that Coach Mace was able to do, and then now you're adding some big names like Mike Rose, Tavon Campbell coming back also. So you got some pretty big hitters coming back to an already great defense, and on offense, some great things were done last year. Just at some point, there's too many injuries, especially on the O-line. There's only so much you can do. And so to have all of those guys come back and then knock on wood here, hopefully we can, stay healthy for the whole season and all of that. It's looking great, as you said, on paper. And I was just making sure that we make that translate to the field as well.
You talk about that you're 32, and, I think 32 used to be old. 32 in 2025 when you look at athletes, it's not that only anymore. You still got a lot of football left in the tank, like you said.
Yeah, no, for sure. And obviously, especially for, Canadian O-line, if you look historically, 32 to 35 is sometimes that sweet spot when you finally get the best out of them. And as you said, back in the days, maybe 32 was old in sports. Obviously, in all kind of sports, especially football, we've come a long way. The way we practice, the way we take care of our bodies, the way, training goes in the offseason and all that stuff. So, yeah, definitely there's a way to extend those careers now compared to only just 10, 15, 20 years ago. I started playing football when I was 12, and just the way we practice, and back when I was 12 to now 20 years later, it's worlds apart. And so definitely, yeah, you can have guys last and give you good football for longer now.
So we're about 60 days away from going to training camp. Like, it's not that far off that you're going to be in Saskatoon, coming to Regina. Everything you've heard, everything you've seen as a fan and a guy that loves the Riders, tell me what you're looking forward to the most coming to the Queen City.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's mostly football, right? I want to, just show up to Saskatoon, first of all, earn my place on this team, whatever role that may be. Just make the team first. That's objective number one. And then once that's done, going to Regina is just experiencing that old football culture, and then the rest of the city as well. I mean, I've also broached on that subject before. Is my wife is probably going to be able to come with me at least for a couple months, and so that's always something we've had on our bucket list to go. Well, I was going to say go out west, maybe more in the middle of the country, but for us being from Quebec, it's west from where we are right now.
We'll take that.
So
Yeah.
And so, go a little further out west, and then, really live there, see how it is, and then get that experience as well. We're both Francophones, so, that's always good too, to go in a different cultural milieu, if you will. Yeah. So, yeah, we're looking forward to that.
You don't have to lie to us. Not a lot of people have coming to Saskatchewan on their bucket list. You keep going. We know.
See, this is the thing. This is one of the things that people have been telling me. It's like, oh, you're going to move, from Montreal to Regina. How's that for you? And I'm like, honestly, I'm stoked. I'm pumped. I'm not a big city guy. I'm from Quebec City originally. That's where I live in the off season. Regina is much more like Quebec than Montreal ever will be. So, that's going to be good.
And wait till if you get a bye week, wait till you get up north. And if somebody ever takes you in northern Saskatchewan, I don't know if you're fishing or if you're anything like that.
Yeah.
It is awesome up there. Okay, now here's the question I've been waiting to ask you all day. August 2nd, you go back to Percival Stadium in Montreal. How is it going to be playing with those stupid horns on the other side of things now?
I mean, I've experienced it firsthand how this crowd can get loud. Obviously, I was on the sideline when the crowd got loud, so it's something different. But yeah, no, it's going to be exciting, and maybe the game will be a little more special. Maybe you always have this little bit of extra push of, I'm going to try to prove to these guys they should have made me a better offer or whatever. But I'm not trying to be cliche, but we did end up we didn't leave it on good terms. Wishing them all the best, obviously, except against us, and then they did the same to me. And so, yeah, you go into every game trying to win. It's going to be fun to go back out east. Only parents are going to be able to come to the game until the playoffs, at least anyway. So that's it's going to be fun. Also, they have historically they've had some pretty good defense. They have some pretty good D-lines as well. So it's always a fun challenge to go against guys that are the top of their game. So yeah, it's going to be exciting for sure.
You know what I'm excited to see out here? Watching you play in Montreal and knowing the presence you had on their offensive line, knowing that you're bringing that experience and that unity to our group, and with what we went through last year with that 13 different players playing on the offensive line, and they were still a good group. I can't imagine how much better it's going to be next year, and I really hope that we get to see you lift a Grey Cup here in Riderville.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That's a goal for sure.
You talk about being from Quebec. You played with Laval. Oh, Laval, the Huskies and the Rams. It's like anyway. What an organization. What they do there. Being from Quebec City, I think that is the most realistic, that would be the best place to put a CFL expansion team. Am I off my rocker?
I mean, there's definitely some interest for football as a whole in this province, as we can see with the support that both Laval and Montreal and the CIS or U Sports already get. So yeah, no, there's a big market for football in the province for sure. I think it'd be a bit of a tough sell, you know, to the crowd to tell them, you know, that's like, yeah, Laval has had it good enough now. Let's bring that support up to the CFL, to an eventual team. But I think, yeah, it could be done for sure. I mean, as we said, the fans are there. So if you bring them a project that they're going to like, that they're going to want to support, I think it could be done. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I'd like to. It'd be an instant rivalry. Montreal, Quebec City.
Could you imagine? Yeah.
It'd be great. Okay, and then lastly, you missed it by like a couple of weeks. Usually the Rough Rider Foundation has a big hockey game up in Saskatoon, and a lot of the players play. Do you skate? Do you play hockey? Can they maybe think about you for next year?
I can kind of skate. I mean, you know, just a little leisure, little go around the ring, but not nearly good enough to play hockey. I could be good behind the bench, though. I could do that.
There we go. Always need another coach. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking
that I'll find up for.
I was thinking you and Noah Zare on the same line, and then just putting someone up
some little tiny in the middle. Yeah,
that'd be big.
Oh, yeah. Well, there is some time left before the next one, so maybe, you know, if I can get some practice time, maybe we'll
there we go.
Get an acceptable level by then.
Yeah,
that's the spirit. Yeah, we're really excited. Everyone excited for the season, obviously, and then like you said, with what happened on the O-line last year, and just the culture that they're bringing in and what they're doing, everyone's excited. Thanks for taking some time today and giving Rider Nation a little piece of what they can expect.
Oh, thanks. It was my pleasure, and looking forward to do that in person. You know, at some point in this year.
Right on.
Thanks, man.
Hey, June and July, bring mosquito repellent. Tell your wife. And after that,
sounds good. Sounds good.
Philippe, thanks
all the
so
tips.
much.
I take all the tips. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Cheers.
Thanks,
man.
you too.
Right on.